let's get to one of my favorite topics and the main topic that everybody sent me. If you guys don't know, Dr. Bryant has gone viral once again by going on the Breakfast Club, and she was discussing a myriad of things. She even actually mentioned Kevin Samuels' name, so she knows who Kevin Samuels is. When Charlemagne the God asked her, what is the definition of a high-value man? Her response was not in line with what Kevin Samuels actually said. And the reason why I'm saying what Kevin Samuels actually said is because I'm going to give y'all guys a history lesson on how the Godfather created the new term high-value man.
I heard you reference Cam as a high value man with a low value, I guess, just a low vibration.
Low function.
Yes, low function.
Very low functioning.
So what is your definition of high value? Because to me, it just sounds like high value to you is like superficial stuff.
High value just means that it's pretty much like you're making a lot of money.
Is that what high value man means? A high value man is just a man that makes a lot of money. No, that just means that you're a high earning. You're a high earning man. And shout out to Kevin Samuels. He actually mentioned that. And he also likened it to sports players and entertainers because their money comes different. So just having money does not make you a high value man based off of what Kevin Samuels said. So she was way off base. And sometimes you get people that come on these platforms after Kevin Samuels passing, and they'll try and create their own definition of what a high value man is. And this is exactly what Dr. Bryant is attempting to do it. But you have guys like me that won't let Kevin Samuels' message rest. So I'm going to bring it to the forefront so we can educate based off of what the Godfather actually put out there.
Have a lot of tangible things. Your high value.
Your value is high.
Your value is high, and your monetary value. Your value is high. Meaning, you got a man who's making $100 million, then he's high valued, and women who are superficial, but I'm not knocking y'all, sis, okay, are very attracted to that. But again, are they choosing the man or are they choosing the value?
But some people are so poor, all they got is money. So why should we call those brothers high value then?
Because value, based on how I define it, is just money. Like I'm a high valued woman, right? I have a multi-million-dollar home. I come from the hood. I went from the hood to the hills, but I've accumulated a lot of value.
The reason why she's calling herself a high value woman is because she has a multi-million-dollar house and she drives luxury cars. That's what she considers a high value woman. And again, none of these terms are protected. So she can call herself whatever the hell she wants, but it's not accepted in these spaces.
Right, I drive luxury cars. I have a certain lifestyle, but I would be low functioning if I preyed on men that I know I can use.
Welcome back. For those of you who don't know, my name is Kevin Samuels.
Hey, I know y'all know who Kevin Samuels is. So this is Kevin Samuels' video where he discusses what a high value man is, because the term caught wildfire when Kevin Samuels brought it to the forefront. And I want to be clear on this. Kevin Samuels is going to tell you that he did not create the term. However, he did put his own spin on it. And be honest, everybody in the chat, before Kevin Samuels mentioned high value man, nobody had heard of it or even decided to research it in these social media spaces. So yes, Kevin Samuels is absolutely responsible for the term high value man within these social media relationship conversations. Now you type in high value man on YouTube, everybody has their own spin on it. And like I said, ALUX is in this video as well. Okay, watch this. I'm very slick with how I do things. So let's go.
Professional men's and corporate image consultant. My job is to make sure my clients look good, smell great, and are the best version of themselves each and every day. But who are we kidding? The reason you're here right now is because the term high value man seems to be everywhere. Full disclosure, I didn't create the term, guys. High value man has been with us for a long time. I have just put my own unique spin on it and kind of popularized it, and it has kind of gone viral.
There it is. From Kevin Samuels himself. There you have it.
But here's the thing. So many people are talking about high value this, high value that. And many times they're actually talking about me and saying as though, well, Kevin said this or Kevin said that. And many people are getting it 100% wrong. So in an attempt to make sense of all this, I want to give you guys the simple 6 basic principles that I define as being high value. Now, again, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying, but this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying a high value man. So your mileage may vary, your opinion is your opinion, but when I'm talking about it, this is what I'm talking about. So let's get it started. The value is determined by what? The market. And when we're talking about individuals, the market is other people, men or women. So a high value man is completely determined by the market.
A high value man is completely determined by the market.
A high value man is completely determined by the market.
Okay, I put that in there 3 times because I want to address this with the men in the chat who are calling themselves high value men. You can't do that, especially if no one has verified or your group has not deemed you a high value man. And that was the biggest issue that I had with high value man terminology, because once Kevin Samuels put it out there, every man start calling themselves a high value man. So no, you cannot go out there and say, hey, yeah, I'm just a high value man. And nobody has verified that. Came from Kevin Samuels. I'm just reiterating the point. So stop doing that. Okay?
Case in point, you can have a vehicle, a home, anything in your possession. You can hold it dear. It could be supremely important to you. But when you put it on the market decides. And there's an upper limit and a lower limit. It doesn't really matter if you think the low is too low or the high is not high enough. That's what the market is willing to pay for it, and that is its overall value. That has been with us forever. So when we start talking about that, we're dealing with people. It really throws people off because it seems so cold, so calculated. But like it or not, that's the way the world is. So let's get into this whole high value man thing. Number 1, in order to be a high value man, it starts with money. Again, like it or not, I didn't put the 6-figure thing out there. It's been with us since the mid 80s. And like it or not, that's where this whole thing starts. You can't be high value and homeless, so you have to make a certain amount of money, and the line is roughly at $10,000 a month adjusted for Atlanta dollars. If you live in San Francisco, LA, New York City, where the cost of living is higher than 100%, you need to adjust it. So $10,000 a month gets the starting point off for high value. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just giving you what the world gave me.
Now, he even adjusted for wherever you live. So he hit all points. Now, what you guys are about to see is a snippet from an ALUX video that they did titled, What is a High Value Man? Remember, Kevin Samuels' video came out 4 years ago. ALUX's video came out 2 years ago. So you guys let me know in the chat. After you hear this video, do you think it was inspired by what Kevin Samuels said? Let's cook.
Number 1. Top 5 to 10% of the social hierarchy ladder. The simplest metric is earnings. High-value men are in the top 10% of earners. They earn 6 figures or more. That translates to over $15,000 a month, every month, just to get into the top 10%. In order to make it to the top 1% of earners, you need to be considered bringing home over $70,000 a month. And with inflation changing the dynamic like crazy, that number is only going up.
Do you think that was inspired by Kevin Samuels? The only thing that they did was increase the dollar amount to $15,000 a month.
That money needs to be made over a length of time, i.e. performance. And that's roughly about 5 years. And about the 3-year mark, you're kind of starting to scratch the surface. Why does it need to be 5 years? Well, because guys, it's a matter of consistency and stability. Look in the NFL, the NBA, anybody can have a great season, but having a great season does not automatically mean you're going to the Hall of Fame. They want to see consistent numbers over a period of time. You know how this works, just like I do in business. You can't be a one-hit wonder or have up here and down there. Consistency, performance over a length of time. That's why that 5-year mark is so important. Like I said, around 3 years, you're starting to scratch the surface, but at 5 years, people can pretty much count on you to say, this person understands and knows how to get it done.
High-value men are able to do it over and over again. Everyone can have a good year or a good season, maybe even get lucky for a while, but high-value men are high value consistently. The really high-value men, the ones making up the 1% of all men, have earned over $1 million per year for over 3 years, and they will earn that for the next 3.
Y'all catch it? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Did you see it? Got your ass.
Shit. Got your ass.
3 is group acceptance. Like it or not, guys, high value men is like a fraternity. It's like a club, a secret society. And high value men know other high value men. They welcome them into the group. They know what it takes to be there. They know what it takes to get in there. And high value men, group acceptance is supremely important. Guys, secret societies, fraternities, organizations have always been with us. And you know how this just works in just general interaction. Guys that just make their own secret society or club, but it doesn't matter as much as somebody says that group is important. Guys, this is about separation. High value men tend to huddle around other high value men for reasons I'm going to go into a little bit later. But group acceptance is another critical component of being a high value man.
Number 5, recognized by other high value peers. There's no such thing as a high value Sigma male.
Did you hear that? No such thing as a high value Sigma male. I'm gonna let him cook.
Males are these individuals who see themselves as lone wolves. That's bullshit. We've experienced it ourselves. In our early 20s, we locked ourselves in a room and went full focus on building a life for ourselves. It took roughly 7 years to get there, and we saw ourselves as successful, only to realize that in the process, we've become an island. So we began building bridges. The big shock was that when we realized all the folks at the top of the pyramid were already hanging out with each other. Discipline and hard work qualify you to be in the room, but you need to build relationships if you really want a deserving seat at the table.
Sounds familiar, right? Same thing that Kevin Samuels said, but I do agree with Kevin Samuels and also with ALUX when they said that Sigma males can never be high value. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you guys know that I make multiple videos telling you guys that I am a Sigma male. So with me saying that, that means I can never be high value. So if you felt some type of way of me telling you that, hey, you can't call yourself high value, I'm telling you right now, I can never be high value because I am a Sigma male true and through. That means that my circle of brothers that I have now are probably going to be the friends that I do long-term business with for the rest of my life because I trust them. And it took years for me to establish that. At my age, I'm not looking for new brothers, but that doesn't mean that I can't develop friendships moving forward. But I want to be clear so there's no confusion or contradiction to the Sigma male videos that I've made in the past. I agree with Kevin Samuels and ALUX's definition of a high value man. And when they said Sigma can't be high value, I agree. And I'm okay with that. So if your goal is to be recognized as a high value man, then you need to be more open to establishing long-term friendships and or business partners moving forward. And the reason why I say I'm a Sigma male and I'm not open to meeting new brothers or putting somebody on my team is because I don't like to be disappointed. So I only fully trust those that knew me when I was on my way to success. It's just, and a perfect example, since we're talking about this, is just like being in the gym and spotting somebody. Me being a bigger guy, I tend to get people that come up and ask me, hey man, can you spot me? But what they'll do is they'll see me in the gym and they'll load up the bar with some weight that they've never lifted before, but they see me and they're like, hey, I'm going to try and hit my max out. I'm going to try and max out because this guy is going to save me with the spot. So when I see that happening, I always correct them. I tell them to lower the weight and go find somebody else to spot you. And I know some people like, man, that's cold. You know, dismiss him like that. It's because of the fact that I don't know this person, right? So if something goes wrong and they're trying to get this weight up and I'm not able to get it off their chest in a timely manner, then they're going to blame me. And it's the same way that I do with myself. When I'm in the gym by myself, I'm not loading up the bar and going to find someone to spot me, because if they don't do it right or they can't pick up the weight, I'm going to get pissed off at them because of the fact that they didn't help me and they don't deserve that. So the only people that I trust to spot me in the gym are the guys who I consider my brothers. Until then, nobody is spotting me in the gym. I'm going to make sure the weight is good enough. I'm going to hit my reps. And if I got one more, then I'm going to go ahead and get one more out. But I'm not going to go around trusting somebody to get the weight off of me. And it's the same way that I feel about the whole high value thing and how Sigmas can't be high value. That's why I base my channel around the Sigma male dating experience, because that's how I dated when I was out there. So yes, I am very aware that most people say that high value men are supposed to be out there. I'm not that. In the military, they forced me out of being an introvert, because you have to be at the forefront when you did the types of things that I did, when you lead people. So yes, I was able to operate as an extrovert at times when I was in the military. But once I started to settle into my own personality, I already understood where I landed. And that was being a Sigma male, which is very rare, mind you. So a lot of you guys want to be high value men. That's great. But I'm not a high value man. I can't be a high value man because I'm not out there like that, and I'm not looking to add more friendships. So I just want to be very clear on this before somebody goes back. Well, you said that you was a Sigma and these people said, no, I'm addressing it for you. I'm not a high value man. Okay? You may be, not me.
Group acceptance is so important because the next part, a network. You have to have a network of other high value men and others. This is another stumbling block for a lot of guys, for a lot of people, because they may have the money, even the length of time. They may look like they fit the group, but if they don't even have any other high value contacts or a network, a group of others, that person is going to be looked at with a side eye. Think of it like this. If you're sitting at the table with 10 high value men, and each of these 10 men has 50 contacts, that's 500 contacts, and you sit at the table and you have twice as much money as any other man on there, but you have 0 contacts. What can you effectively get done other than throw money at it? These other men can make phone calls, exert influence, move things to get things done. And you can only do what? Offer money and potentially feed off that network of contact. One thing high value men know and understand, that time is what's important. And building a network that actually works for you is extremely important. In some areas, it's called a book of business. A book of business can make you successful here, here, and here. Your contacts, your network is your net worth. You've heard this before, so you cannot underestimate how important having a network of high value men and other people is to your status as a high value man.
All the guys that I consider my brothers, everybody is successful and they all have their own expertise. Whatever I need, I'm good.
Number 6, has a valuable network. What it would take you 3 to 4 years to do on your own can be achieved in 6 months if you have a powerful network. Men at the top work in packs when it comes to tackling projects beyond one's solo ability. They leverage each other's relationships, infrastructure, and knowledge to minimize risk. They trust each other to hold their word and put their money and actions where their mouth is. That's why the rich are getting richer, because they're working together to ensure it. And that's the thing. Poor people actually despise other poor people, which stops them from collaborating. Because high-value men have built this valuable network around them, others will come to them trying to carry favor. We don't care if you think of yourself as a high-value man. The only way to really know is when other high-value men give you their stamp of approval and allow you to join their ranks. Your value is partially determined by the people you surround yourself with.
And I don't know why they didn't give Kevin Samuels credit when they put this video out, but you can hear the similarities. It's damn near verbatim.
He copied my whole shit. That gets me through.
Network, we got to have the visibility. Guys, your income and your position has to be LinkedIn level. Think of it like this. This person says they're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. This person is head of thoracic surgery at Johns Hopkins. This person is VP of Mergers and Acquisitions at Bank of America. And then someone says, hi, I'm an entrepreneur. 3 of those 4 people, at a glance, we can pretty much estimate who they are, what they do, and their relative importance in the overall socioeconomic structure. The 4th person, more information is needed. There's not enough visibility, not enough transparency. To be a high value man, it needs to be at a glance. Again, your position and your income. Guys, you may have a lot of money, but if it's coming from sketchy areas, no one can kind of understand where it's coming from. That does not give other high value men or even the public any kind of real confidence that you are who you say you are. Again, guys, it's about the market. It's what the market, the world is thinking. They got to know at a glance that you are a high value man.
So we hear a lot of people, primarily women, saying I'm an entrepreneur. That's very vague. So guys, you cannot do that. You need to have something that's tangible. So when you introduce yourself and hey, you know, what industry do you work in? What do you do? You'll be able to say exactly what it is without people thinking about it. Shouts out to Kevin Samuels for actually mentioning that. And that's why he said LinkedIn level. Now, once again, ALUX is about to give their definition. Let me know if you hear some similarities. Here we go.
Number 8, visible and intriguing. You know who high-value men are. Everybody does. You might not know them, but you know of them. They're visible. They're around. They're always doing something extraordinary, which puts a spotlight on them. High-value men move differently. For everybody else, this is intriguing. How is this person able to do so much consistently? Well, the secret lies in the management of resources. At the end of the day, you have the same number of hours in a day as they do, but they're not being managed in the same way. You recognize what they've built and what position they occupy in society. Others understand the title of their occupation. They're not vaguely entrepreneurs. They're the CEO of Tesla. You know what the function is, and you know what the company is.
Sixth part is probably my favorite part, guys. A high value man is useful to others and the group. A lot of times you'll hear people say, I don't want to be used. I don't want to be used. No, I want to be used. Why? Because that means I'm useful. High value men are in demand and useful. Their presence is felt when they're there and their absence is felt when they're gone. That is how you know you're really a high value man. How you can move things, your ability to influence things. And that is your relative usefulness. In economics, it's called ULOs. How useful are you to the group? Again, there's no high value homeless, neither are there any high value loners. If you have all these resources, all this stuff, but it's all hoarded for your own selfish ends and no one can benefit from your money, your network, or anything you have, how valuable are you to the group, to the world, to other people? That's what this comes down to. High value men are in demand and useful to other people.
Now Kevin Samuels is going to explain the best part of this conversation, because I'm pretty sure you guys know what goes on in today's social media climate when they talk about high value men. One of the biggest pushbacks that Kevin Samuels received after his passing, people would say, well, he's ascribing high value, but there's no character, no morals, things like that, right? Those things are actually subjective. They're personality traits, which means that even if you have low character or no morals or no religious beliefs, none of that stops a man from becoming, quote unquote, high value based off of the 6 pillars that Kevin Samuels actually outlined. Okay? Listen to what I just said. A man with low character, no morals, all these types of things, no religious beliefs, none of that will stop you from becoming a high value man. And you guys see that in present day. A lot of people don't like President Trump, right? Do you think President Trump meets all of the 6 requirements to be a high value man? Be honest. Even if you don't like his politics or whatever, if you outline all the 6 things that Kevin Samuels mentioned, would that stop him from being a high value man? No, it wouldn't, right? So the pushback that Kevin Samuels received from outlining high value and not putting character in there, does he love his mother and all this type of stuff? What I notice is that every time a man or a woman uses a rich man for an example, they immediately say, like, men with money are some of the most narcissistic people. Or they'll say, they're usually the worst kind of men. Makes sense? And I want to explain this as clear as possible for anybody that has any pushback or doesn't like the fact that Kevin Samuels didn't mention character or morals.
High value is all the rage, all the buzz right now. I didn't make it, but I want to clarify what I mean when I'm talking about it. The 6 basic principles of being a high value man, and that by no means is the end of it. Each individual person, after that 6 basic things there, they maybe put other things on top of it. They may have religious concerns, personal motivations, but those 6 core things need to be there. Look at it this way.
So the core things, the 6 pillars of being high value need to be there. Now, whatever else you want to add in there, that's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with the 6 core values if you're going to be using the barometer of being a high value man that Kevin Samuels laid out. So that's why people, what about a man's character? F all that. They ain't got nothing to do with it unless you add that yourself. Okay, let's continue.
Value has been with us forever. There's always been a ranking system, irrespective of race, culture, period of time. You will see higher value men, higher value individuals separate or be separated from the pack. That is how this works. You don't have to like it, but you do need to accept it. High value men understand that the world is a competitive place. All's fair in love and war, right? And high value does 2 things for men. It gives you more options and it gives you an opportunity to get more favorable outcomes. If you want more options or more favorable outcomes, you need to increase your overall value. And that principle is pretty well understood everywhere except when it comes to us. It gets personal, it gets hard, it gets difficult. And some of us don't like to reduce human beings to things that are so seemingly cold and calculated. But like it or not, that is what it is. We have civilized the world in general. We have evolved, but at the end of the day, we still had that primitive brain, that hunter-gatherer, fight or flight. And even though in the suit and all that other kind of stuff, that is who we are when it's right down to it. Better to know that exists and then ask yourself, what do you want to do about it, than try to fight against this whole thing of high value or not high value. Last things, just because you're not a high value man does not mean you lack value or you're of no value.
So guys, don't feel bad. If you're not making $100,000 a year and you don't meet all the high value requirements, Kevin Samuels just told you. He was not trying to exclude you guys or telling that you don't have any value. No. Okay? So let's continue. But I want to be clear on that because I know some guys, like, if they feel left out, then they start trying to change the definition. And I don't want you guys to do that. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Damn near, it's more people than not that don't make $100,000 a year. So you have company, okay? I mean, it is what it is, man. Let's continue.
And just because you may not be supremely useful to the group does not mean you're useless. High value is not a way of saying these guys are great and these guys are nothing. But it is a mark, a delineation, and it is a fact of life. It comes into play when men are dealing with men and when women are dealing with men. You can't get over it, guys, so you might as well understand it and act accordingly.
Rest in peace of Kevin Samuels. So I'm glad that he was able to set the record straight in real time. Even though, he passed, the message still lives on. And I think that was a great breakdown to help you guys understand that he was the one that made the term popular. So when you see people like Dr. Bryant, when you see, channels like ALUX coming up with their own definitions of what a high value man is, just understand that Kevin Samuels popularized the term within these spaces.